Live, yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome to another Cosmic Crone conversation with me, Marie.
And Marie Tina.
Yeah, you are, Tina. Yeah, we're going live again. It's actually working out for us.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but it's working out for us because at present we are moving from one piece of land. If you saw the last live, we were on the new land.
Yeah.
You know, up in the mountains, and we're just so tired.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd come along tonight, or today, or this morning, wherever you're listening or watching from, and bringing you today's podcast, which is all about
TRNC Animal Rescue, rescuing dogs.
what it's all. The podcast's all about that.
Well, you went. Well, it's all about you, but I don't know.
Right. Okay. Yes, the TRNC Animal Rescue Family is about what we would have been doing today.
But it's mind control. We are talking about mind control.
Oh yeah, if you want to donate, need it desperately. I'm not just tell you straight. We need a lot of help, and financial help would be fantastic. So if you could direct yourself to PayPal.
SOSDogs2017@outlook.com.
And it will go towards, a lot of materials and things
Building
like
materials,
that.
yeah.
Usually I'm asking for food, but really need it desperately. And I'm not going to go on about it because if you can't, that's fine. That's fine.
Just enjoy our chat.
Yeah. So today's podcast, Tina, is about
mind control, which on both sides, that's mind control by others or controlling your own mind.
Yeah, and we're just going to touch on a few things. It's what we used to do. We used to sort of like do a general podcast about a subject. And then if there was something that we go, do you know what? I'd like to
pick it out and
more into that. So I don't know if the comments are on. Well, no, I'm not sure, but we can't see any right now because there's so many people watching. Oh, 2 people, whoever you are, to you. Right. So the mind control that you were on about, right?
You will give me £500. No, don't.
Not on your life.
No.
So what we were talking about before the podcast, the last few days, you were more going on about was it substances or governments
do you know
and
what
programs?
But
I was going on about like wellness and your own way. So we thought we'd combine it.
Yeah.
You know.
What sparked me off was a Facebook post.
Yeah.
And it was about this dot thing. And if you looked at the middle dot and you didn't see the other dots, you've got ADHD or something.
Yeah.
You haven't got ADHD. What?
Well, it was about sussing to see if you'd got it or not. Basically, it was.
The thing is, if you haven't got ADHD, basically it was saying really that then if your mind isn't wandering, then you're easy to manipulate and hypnotise and mind control.
Is that what you got from it, yeah?
Well, yeah, because if you're not ADHD and you're able to concentrate on this one spot and let all the others disappear and your mind not wander, then you are an easy target for hypnotism.
I just think it was a bad way of diagnosing somebody.
Yeah.
You know? But coming from that, so you got the idea from that.
Yeah, about mind control.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of people have heard of the government versions of like MK Ultra. You've looked into that, haven't you?
No.
Oh, I thought you did. You were speaking about before about the CIA. They did it. I think you did put a date down.
Right. We did. Yeah.
Years ago, like during the war, they would basically mind
told me,
control the
didn't you?
soldiers
Yeah.
so that they're not scared. Oh, the dog, we have a new
Oh
puppy.
yeah, apparently,
Come on, puppy.
wasn't it? So you were saying about Zemco, they wipe the brain first.
But they do it through like really horrific torture, electrocution, completely blank the mind and then reprogram the mind.
And that was from 1953 to 1973.
So they
What
say.
a load of baloney.
Because
What
I think there's a lot of
baloney.
things that happen, like when you get these weird shootings that are like ex-army, you know, like old soldiers that go mental and then they go mad with a shotgun and kill people in a precinct and it's just like, they get trigger words, which is the same
Well, you
like
could-
hypnotism.
Yeah, people say like it might be PTSD.
Yeah.
But there's something that's
No,
triggered.
I think it's something more.
Yeah, but I'm saying, don't dismiss that,
Mm.
but it's just that I'm saying that something will trigger that response to hurt others.
Yeah.
So from PTSD to MK Ultra, I'm just saying that something will trigger it. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also subliminal messages that they do through ads, apparently. Where you get a flash of something. But there's been research on it, and it was like 29%, you know, if it says like buy this soap powder.
Was that it?
27%, yeah. It's not a lot really, you know, if you get this flash of like I said,
Apparently
buy
there was
this
a
now,
presidential
or-
campaign, wasn't there?
Yeah,
And was it
that's right, yeah, saying that the opposition,
the rats?
yeah,
And it came up. No, we didn't. And they took it down because it did happen.
yeah,
Right, now why we're going on about this is because every part of us is very precious, obviously. But it seems that the mind can just recreate so many things, memories. I did write, I'm not going to say forgive me, I was going to say for a change, I have got it here. I was saying that we just, like, okay, you get up in the morning maybe, and sometimes you go into the past, you know, into thinking about things. This is going on about our own minds now, not CIA or anything. And it can really, it can shape our days. It can shape our moods. So, you know, we've got to sort of look after ourselves, haven't we?
yeah, and whatever you're fed in the morning does affect your mood for the rest of the day. It depends, you know, like they say, you've got out of bed the wrong side, but you could turn on the TV and watch something really dismal,
Yeah.
you know, bad news, and it could affect you for the rest of
I
the
don't
day.
watch a lot of news. It's not because
No,
I'm
I
not interested. It's because it actually is, I think it sort of
Depressing.
programs me to feel very unsafe, you know, and worried.
Well, social media, any news, they want you, well, they put out what they want you to see.
Yeah, it's become sort of a familiar thing that you do. It's a way of connecting. You connect it, you might wake up, look at your phone, and that'll put you in a way. You'll watch somebody, you might watch somebody's tarot. You know, you might watch somebody who's silly, you know, jokey and things like that. And it's a way of programming you as well.
Do you know that something what your dad said about cause and effect?
Oh yeah, my dad has a saying. Do you mean
Yeah.
the actions of others? That one.
Yeah.
The actions of others and how it affects you.
Yeah.
It's a big thing to say.
And that
isn't it?
is part, like you say, it's like mind control.
Subconscious and conscious mind
Yeah.
is separated by the analytical mind.
And what does that mean?
Yeah. Well, the analytical, you
Practical.
analyse, yeah, your subconscious, you know
Yeah.
what that is, and what your conscious
Yeah.
is. Well, the analytical mind, it separates them both.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's by about 35 age range, we've got into our routines. So 95% of us have routines and thought processes within us.
But I think that's as you grow out of childhood, the magic leaves you behind because you're going into the reality of the rat race and fairies don't exist. You get told all this, didn't you? Santa Claus.
Apparently, 5% of the brain wants to go, I want to eat healthier. I want to be more fit, you know, and all that. And I wonder if that's a time when people become drawn towards meditation. I wonder what the age group, I'm not sure what the age group is, unless you've been brought up.
Yeah, I wasn't brought up with it at all.
Yeah.
None of my family was spiritual at all, apart from maybe my nan reading tea leaves, and my great nan used to read palms. But apart from that, I was a first that broke the mould. And it started for me when I was very, very young. Meditation wasn't a thing for me, but then I don't know, because maybe I just didn't understand what I was doing at the time. And it was meditation because I was doing things with sacred geometry when I was like 7.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand what I was doing with these shapes and putting them over. So I presume I was meditating then.
Yeah.
Because I was closing my eyes and, you know, imagining the shapes being surrounded by these shapes. So, yeah.
So, you know, we started off like with the CIA, with MK Ultra and all that. And do you think, I'll put a thought down here, can we change? Can we change from somebody being so stressful or triggered by another person, a way of life that they have to live, sorry? Can we, with so much influence going on with social media,
Yeah.
do you think we can change and...
Yeah, I mean, you can control your own mind. This is what we were saying. All the negative stuff about, you know, you've got a lot of narcissism about, and they sort of mind control, don't they? They manipulate, which goes down that road, doesn't it? But then your self mind control is about
That's
being
what I'm
in
really
the present.
interested in, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if some people don't realise that, you know, when they go, do you know what, I'm going to go for a walk. You know, I'm not doing too well, I need to go for a walk.
What do they say? To clear your mind. To clear your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just come to me. You know, I wonder if they realise how much good they're doing for themselves. People, I think, can have to me, you want to call it a washing machine, going around and around and around and not being able to express themselves. People get into, you know, when I say get into, I think getting so stuck that they get mind controlled by other influences, organisations, and sometimes them organisations are probably really good for them. But don't you think that there's some things that they pick
so
on?
Much negative.
Do you know what? They can see this tender, influential person.
There is so much negative manipulation and mind control, like with, it always pops up, don't it? Cults, religions. They're all a form of mind control.
Would you?
Because the thing is, you know, I am going to pick something. I was a driving instructor in UK for many years, and I had an Asian student who wore the full thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever you call
Okay.
it. And yeah, and you know, she was very intelligent, and we spoke a lot about stuff. We get into conversations when we're that close, with, with my students.
Yeah.
And we were talking about religion and stuff, and I said, like, you don't have to wear it. And she said, yes, but I want to. I choose to wear it. Now, I don't get that because although she says she chooses to wear it, she's been manipulated and mind controlled from birth that it's good to wear it. Why would you want to cover yourself up? Because her answer was like to respect her husband or a god or
Why can't she think that? Why can't she have that opinion?
I'm not saying she can't have that, but she's been mind controlled to think that it's good to be completely covered.
Right. So that's her. Do you think that was her opinion then?
The thing is with mind control, it's a false sense of freedom.
Right.
There was something that David Icke said, like the easiest form of mind control is when you don't even know when it's happening.
That's what I was saying about organisations, or if you want to say religions.
Brainwashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, the washing machine. You know? But if somebody's happy and not hurting anybody else, whether that person's been brought... you see, I find it... I do agree with you to a certain extent.
If that same girl was brought up in a different family, not practicing a religion, she wouldn't be wearing it, would she?
Well, that's obvious though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's obvious, yeah. So I'm finding it hard, I don't know, to...
It's like choosing to be oppressed. But
right, now you're getting to something, yeah. And she doesn't feel that she...
No, she wouldn't, because it's the easiest form of mind control.
If she was happy...
She thinks she's happy because she thinks she's pleasing her God or her husband.
And that's her prerogative, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, going back to, okay, if you believe in, if you have a spiritual reckoning, that seems quite broad, that does to me. You know, people have different ways of accepting that. What I'm trying to say is, like some people like shine with tarot. I'm just giving an example. Right. And then some people shine with, if you want to say spirits or entities.
Yeah.
You know?
Having a talent. Like.
Yeah. To me, it's a talent. It's not a brainwash. It's a talent. Because to me, you can't brainwash somebody into going... Just my opinion. You can't brainwash somebody into... Like, you have talents that I don't have, and I have talents that you don't have.
I wouldn't say talent.
I would say it was a talent.
Or just tuning in to
it's words.
It's
a word I want to use. You have that talent. You have that... what's the word? Okay, anything that would be acceptable to you, you have that choice. See, sometimes people don't have a choice. That's what I'm trying to get at. You know, when you're sitting there and you feel like you're going out of your head, you feel like, I can hear things. What's going on? Unless you have somebody to guide you and say, it's okay. What are you hearing?
Well, that's where drugs can be a positive or negative experience.
Right.
Obviously, years ago in the 60s, everybody was on LSD and...
psychedelic stuff.
Yeah. And people did trip and see things. But today, apart from obviously drug addiction, people will use drugs just to have a psychic experience or that to connect with.
But I don't. Me personally, I don't want to use those things because I'm always. Yeah, but that's it. That's the point.
I've never ever needed to.
Is that an excuse to say they want an experience?
I mean, yes, I've had alcohol, obviously, and I've had a few, you know, when I was young, I'd go out clubbing and have a few drinks, and then I'm like really open to stuff, and I would say something to my friend, and she's like, whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think alcohol opens you up to other stuff as well, negative things,
Yeah,
because you're basically open and unprotected.
So what we were, I'm going to go back to. Have you got any more information on the MK Ultra?
Other than it was a CIA experiment, obviously they did use drugs. They used LSD on people,
Yeah.
and the Russians now are using drugs to for
I
their
think they're
soldiers,
using
so
things we
that
haven't got a
they
clue
basically
about.
go into battle without any fear. Because you imagine knowing that you could
You know,
probably
not come
die.
home.
Yeah, or you're going to get ugly wounded and end up in
There was a lot of it
agony.
went on. Forgive me if I'm saying the wrong thing, but in the Vietnam War, there was a lot of people using because they were absolutely scared out their brains, and quite rightly so. Not that they weren't brave soldiers.
And a lot of drug addiction came out of that after the war.
So that
Probably
changes people's personalities, their afflictions, their way of living. They can't, you know, and I'm not just talking about that war, but I'm talking about also when you've been oppressed, like the word you used, within a relationship. I'll leave it broad. Do you know what I mean? In a relationship, that could be from parents or from spouses and things like that. And I do think there's a lot of people get into tell me if you think I'm wrong, like meditation and things like that to try and control their way of getting out of that feeling down, getting some well-being. You know, however you do that, that could be with smells, with candles, or what do you think?
I've done meditation in my late 20s after I had my first child. I was very depressed, and I took to meditate every single day for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours while the baby was asleep. And I would cry when I came back out because I wanted to stay there. I'd hated.
Does anybody else have that
I went
experience?
through antenatal depression really bad because I was very ill after for at least 2 months.
I'm sorry to hear that,
you know.
Yeah.
And yes, that meditation for me it's an escape, isn't it?
And sometimes, it was. I don't know if this makes sense to others, but you know when music can change your mood, can lift you, it can bring you down. Music to me is my sort of, if I can say meditation, it's my way of well-being. Although it has worked against me when, you know, you get the Adele on and all that, and you start feeling. But you know what? That brings emotions of which I need.
It's mind control, isn't it? Because it's mood control.
Yes.
Because it does change your mood if you.
Or does it heighten my mood? I'm already feeling like I'm on the floor.
But if you listen to something more uplifting, does it lift you up?
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, moods. Yeah. So sometimes I need to cry.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need to hear somebody else say, you know, hello, it's me. You know, whatever, I'm just bringing her up, you know. There was one song that actually, I sort of listen to songs now that are more ironic. Like, I'm going to bring Adele because it was Adele that she goes, there's a song called I Only Drink Wine.
Oh.
And it's the line, and I'm trying to not, I'll get it wrong, but it's why are we like controlled, or why are we, I'll say that, why are we controlled by the choices that somebody else makes? Do you get
It's a
me?
bit like what your dad said, yeah.
Exactly. I think that gets me. So do you think at any time in your life you
I would say mind control, manipulated by my ex-husband.
right, I was going to say
It's the things that he said. He was never ever physically abusive. But it's does your head in, your mind. Like saying you look a mess. Why don't you wear nicer clothes? Your
that's
hair.
their problem, and it? Something's wrong with them.
Yeah, but it makes you feel like crap. And then you get to the point where, what do you want me to wear? I'll wear that for you.
Does that make, yeah.
To keep the peace. Or, you know, this house is a mess. I want to see it cleared up, but by the time I come home, so you do it. It's like...
Okay, I'm trying to ask a question.
Manipulation or mind control, because it gets you thinking that
your whole life is controlled. I don't know about mine.
Well, that you're not good enough for anything. You know, if someone says to you, you're a pain in the neck.
And constantly tells you. Yeah, that
you're
happens
not
to
good
kids,
enough.
doesn't it, as well?
You're rubbish, and then you believe
You're just
it.
like your dad.
Yeah, you get to
believe
it.
You know, and all this, yeah.
So there is control.
My question I'm trying to ask you is, when all that has happened, right, have you been triggered since then?
What do you mean triggered?
Okay. You experienced all that. So did something or somebody or something was said that triggered you to go back to that feeling?
No, not at all. No. Never.
No.
No.
You're lucky.
I left that life and I left it behind.
Yeah. I have seen you slightly triggered into like, I'm not putting up with this. Do you get me? Triggered the emotion, the hurt.
But knowing that I don't have to put up with it anymore.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're lucky enough to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because some of us can't. So, like frequencies. We was in a group chat, weren't we? And talking about frequencies. And that can have a bearing on your moods and mind. So we've gone from one thing to another in one respect, but I want to bring it back cosmically.
Well, with frequencies, yes, because all musical instruments before the war and the Germans were on 432 hertz. They were tuned in, with the tuning fork to 432. And that is the natural resonate of Earth, planet Earth. That's the natural vibration frequency of planet Earth. So to be in harmony with planet Earth would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
To be in harmony and be in sync with the planet that you're living on.
Yeah.
And then the Germans...
You mean before the war or?
No, during the war.
During the war. Second World War.
At some point, I did put a date on your pad, but I can't remember exactly.
Okay.
But it was during a war that he changed it, and it just became worldwide. Like the effect of one person saying, okay, all instruments now are going to be on, I think it was 430 or 440.
Yeah.
So that's slight difference. And if you listen to music, there's a couple of shorts I listen to on YouTube where this guy played the same tune, just very short.
Oh yeah.
In the two frequencies, and you can hear that one is slightly off. And the thing is, the downside is if you tune an instrument into the nice 432, you can never play with anyone else whose instrument is tuned into the 4440, whatever it is, because it doesn't sound right.
Ooh.
So you could never
do a
duo with someone, or
Is that why some of us are in tune with the Earth and we don't get on with some people
Yeah.
because they're not in tune with the earth. So our feelings and thoughts are completely different.
I mean, that's not like mind control, but it would be in the point that it could give you a headache because you were saying.
Oh God,
you can't
sometimes my
listen
head
to
hurts. Yeah, I feel sick.
Basically, you can't think straight,
Yeah.
so it is affecting you in that way.
So that word mind control.
There's a wide spectrum on it, isn't there?
Yeah, but the word mind control, I was going to say is negative. It's been used negatively.
Yes.
I'm coming from a place where your own control of your mind.
Which you wrote down some pointers about.
Yeah.
Mindfulness, actual mindfulness.
Oh yeah. To understand the mind and body connection.
Yeah.
Understanding how to control your mind begins with realizing that you are in you are in control of yourself.
Knowing that you're in
You
control,
are.
yeah.
Embrace the moment. That's hard for me.
So that is
sometimes.
like mindfulness, being in the moment.
Yeah.
I do like obviously we've got the sanctuary now up in the mountains. We haven't had a chance to actually sit and enjoy it yet because we're still working. But eventually I will sit there and we will both sit there and just stop. It is about just stop.
We have done. We have done.
Yeah.
We've just gone. We've done that sigh.
And listen to all them little things, the birds singing. There could be someone gardening with a mower, lawn.
Or somebody going, oi, talking, hello, you can hear it.
All those little things and just picking up on everything.
There's sometimes you need to shift your focus.
Yeah.
On. You might be meditating. You might be meditating. You might be using mindfulness tools for the wrong reasons. You might be trying to suppress something or fight something. What it is, you have to heal yourself, don't you? Before you can carry, you have to be strong within yourself. I don't know what this one meant, use priming. Do you know that one?
No, I don't know what that means, priming.
Prime.
Prime is one, isn't it?
Or it could be, when you use primer, that's the first stage. Yeah, you're right. Visualise. Look things up, and see what visualisation might mean for you. And recognise your limited beliefs. Because you might not believe in everything. You don't have to believe in esoteric stuff. You don't have to believe that the world's flat, I don't know. But you don't have to believe in everything. If you do, fair play to you. But you have to believe in you. Now, I know I sound like I'm preaching, but you do. And you know what? It's took me so long.
To love yourself.
It's took me so long. Years, and I hope by us doing this and you listening to it as well as watching, because our podcast is also on Spotify. Like I'll go back to what I was saying, memories at the beginning. Memories have emotions. Like we did past life regression.
Yeah.
And that made me cry. From what I can remember, I couldn't save the dogs.
Yeah. See, I could have told you to stand on one leg and cluck like a chicken, and you would have. Because
More
you
than
would have been mind
likely.
controlled.
More than likely. Yeah. You have to, yeah.
You got anything else?
Yeah, I'm just going, it's about conveying the best thoughts to yourself. And that's very hard for people who have relied on others for their thought processes, for their thinking, for their way of living. And you just want to push and promote yourself. You don't have to stand on a soapbox and go, I am brilliant. Listen to me, I'm great, I am. You have to think that first.
I mean, I know we're on YouTube, but I do think people need to get off of social media and stop scrolling. Just limit your time
Yeah,
on
limit.
social
Yeah,
media
yeah.
and get out into the real world and enjoy
We
our
had a
lovely
comment.
planet.
Yeah,
As much as there is bad crap, there is some beautiful
we had a comment
stuff.
from one of our listeners and watchers, Warrior Girl,
Yeah,
and we were talking about like environments on our last podcast. And I said, if you're in a concrete jungle,
yeah,
get yourself some plants or something.
yeah,
And she was saying that, the concrete is made from the earth
yeah.
and all that. But sometimes that concrete is, see, I'm doing that and I'm trying to be,
It's that belief again, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
that thinking that if you are stuck in four walls,
yeah,
that concrete, it's visualising.
seeing beyond
Yeah,
it.
visualising that it could be natural stone. If you've got your eyes closed, you can visualise anything.
See, things I'm doing and things you're doing, we're using concrete, right? And this is going far out now. I don't know where this has come from, but what we're doing is doing it with love, hard work. So if anybody else came along, you get vibes from buildings, don't you?
Yeah.
You get feelings from buildings, and I get that. What she was
And
saying.
you notice the older buildings are always nicer, aren't they? Than the more man-made stuff you get.
I think some of the things that are built now are soulless.
It's the shape. Remember,
soulless.
it's not just what it's made from, it's the shapes of things. That everything has a frequency. Hence, sacred geometry, so certain shapes can be restricting and control how you feel. Don't you think?
What would your conclusion be? Because
I think rounds, you see like round houses, I think they're great.
them domes.
Like cob houses, and I think they're much more pleasing. I mean, I did stay in one actually. Where was? I think it was in Africa. We stayed in it like a round. It wasn't a tent. It was whatever they make it. It's like adobe, probably. Like they use straw and mud, don't they?
Yeah, natural.
And it was lovely.
Yeah.
It was really lovely, and there was something about the roundness of it that was pleasing.
Yeah, if you've got any feelings that where you live, or what feelings have you got from structures? Some things with points get on my nerves.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said I'm always attracted to the past, so I love old buildings, and it's obviously the history and the feel and the frequencies of those buildings, and in touch with the lives in the past that affect how I feel and my mood.
So we come to you on this podcast with mind control, and I'll reiterate what I said. I think it's been used, the word mind control,
in a negative
way, because it has been used in a negative way. But I think maybe I could swap the words and say, you control your mind.
Yeah.
And make sure, really, honestly, if you need to put on a bit of Celine Dion and have a cry, go for it, because those emotions, I don't know, to me it's like getting it out.
Yeah.
It's getting it out. I know somebody, although I said that, somebody was listening to a band, I'm not going to mention them, because it's liable, but it's just that the words, the lyrics controlled his mind, and he was an ex-soldier, and he'd got a wife and 2 kids, and that particular music and album made him change his personality. You could say it was already there, but he was continuously listening to this particular album, and he couldn't communicate with his wife anymore. Like it was angry. It was angry. So that's a bit of my, but
games do as well.
no, oh God, we could go on.
Yeah.
You know,
In
games.
a negative way.
Games can be. I've seen young people talk differently. They talk differently because that's what's on the games. Yeah, but to encompass what, you know, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but we were about mind control. We were on about controlling. You see, we could go on to another podcast about something else.
I think mobile phones are a great
good.
mind control. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I know what you mean.
You see that dystopian future, you know, where everybody is on a mobile phone. There was a Doctor Who episode, and the girl in it, she couldn't even walk in a straight line because she was using the phone. The phone was her eyes. She never looked up to see the world. She was just in this bubble and looking at the phone, so it was telling her to turn left and right. And then the phone was suddenly taken away from her, and she was like, bumped into a lamppost because she couldn't focus the world,
couldn't
the real
configure
world.
what was around
And
her.
I thought, wow,
That's like those things you put on, any
virtual reality type thing.
Yeah, because when you come from it,
it does change your perception.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Well, shall we draw it to an end there? Any comments? You're welcome. Anybody wants to do a podcast with us? We're very welcoming to people who have interests, around cosmic vibes and frequencies and what you think, what's going on above us, around us, everything to do with everything really. But yeah, it's all right. I'm so tired. I really apologise.
Yeah, we've had an odd day.
Yeah, and the car's broke down again, so. Thank you so much anyway for listening and watching and taking the time to be with us. Again, get in touch. And this has been a Cosmic Crone conversation with me, Marie.
And me, Tina.
Take care, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye. Gotta get up and
The doggies.
do it. Want to see the dog? Look. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.